Verse 22. When men strive together and hit the pregnant woman, so the children come out, but there's no harm, the one who hit her shall surely be fined, as the woman's husband shall impose on him, and he shall pay as the judge determined. Okay, so now what happens if two guys are fighting, and the one guy's wife is pregnant, she comes and tries to stop them, and then the one trying to, even her own husband, but the one trying to, fighting, and like he was trying to push her away, and she falls over and stumbles, and either there's a stillbirth, as we're going to see, or she goes into labor because of this fall and the shock of it, and she goes into labor. Right now, the child is born. So, what happens then ultimately? So, if it's all is the child is born, no problems with the woman. She can give birth to more children. In other words, he didn't basically stop her from ever giving birth again, and that child that was born then, that she was pregnant with, then came out, he was all fine, right? Then there's no harm. Okay, the one who hit her, he should be fined, because you don't go around hitting women. I was always told, it doesn't matter what my sisters did to me, my parents always said, you never hit a girl, although they were all older than me and bigger than me and faster than me, and they could do with everything with their mouths, whatever, make fun of me. Don't worry, I'm not angry with them. It's just how it was when I was a child. I've grown up, right? But you don't. The point I'm trying to make is, I was told you don't hit a girl ever. So in other words, this guy hit a woman, so he needs to be fined. You don't touch a woman if she doesn't want to be touched. I mean, you don't even supposed to touch a guy where he doesn't want to be touched if it's not what he wants, kind of idea. If it's a guy or a girl, doesn't matter. I mean, you don't touch people if they don't want to be touched. I'm not so speaking of just hugging people and stuff like that, because some cultures are, say, overly touchy, kind of. I mean, overly underly touchy, rather. In other words, you're not supposed to hug people. I'm a hugger. But I just do it because I feel that, you just hug people, you show compassion. It's not like keeping your distance, kind of. Everybody knows me. I'm too emotional. By watching all these videos, you'll know it by now as well. So I have no objection if people, they can always say, you're not going, that person doesn't want to be hugged, you don't hug. The person's fine, shaking the hand. The person doesn't want to shake, you don't shake. You shake. When I'm speaking of more in an intimate way, hugging I don't think is intimate, that such per se. Well, no, some people again might differ here with me. But if you touch in certain intimate parts, and be it male and female, in this case now it's about females, then that's not what you're supposed to do. You don't. I'm not one of this Me Too movement people again, because I think it's way too the other side, where you can just look at the girl and then she's cries that you are raped. And although Jesus would have said that is having intercourse with her, but I mean, it doesn't matter the way you look at her. You can look at her with disdain. You can look at her whatever way, not with those kinds of thoughts at all in mind. But she can whatever, and there you go to prison, you put in jail, any of those kinds of nonsense, right? So there's always the other side of it, the totally going mad side of any of these. So he needs to be fined ultimately. No harm, but he still needs to be fined, and the fine needs to be imposed by the woman's husband ultimately. So the husband was the person responsible for the wife. He is the one who needs to put the fine on this guy, because again he is responsible for her, so he determines. And and then the judge ultimately determines the final pay, right? So this is taken to court and all of those kinds of things, and he then will determine ultimately the final pay that will happen to this guy who hit him. Okay, so you can see the kind of mountain there in the back, and then I think you can see here the prayer flags. And then Gangtok down there in the valley. Yes, I think helicopter pad over there. And there's a football pitch over down there as well. You can't see from here the highest mountains because it's ultimately now beyond the trees here over that hill over there. Past that, so the highest mountains that over there. There's trees, so you can't see. It's a bit of garbage here and someone collecting some of it.